I didn't even think about how to start off this video because I have no concept of anything in my life. But here we are. Thank you. I am ready. Hi! This is the first video I've posted on this channel, or at least it will be the first video I've posted on this channel. I have many videos to film and edit and then subsequently post. But yeah, so if you don't know me, which is likely, hi, my name's Clark. I go by AltKitty on the internet and this is my channel, AltKitty Adventures. You can also find me on AltKitty just here on YouTube, on Twitch, Twitter, Instagram. I think I have a Facebook page that I've not done anything with too. So there you go. Oh, and TikTok. Mostly TikTok. But my rambling aside, the reason I'm making this video is because the thing that I'm doing with this channel is travel and other life stuff. Maybe, probably, I don't know. I'm a mess of a person, we shall see. But if you can't tell by my ears, I hot glued these cards on just a few hours ago, you know. I'm going to Disney. Disney World, Florida, in fact. It feels good to finally be able to say that. I fly in a week from when I'm recording this. I should probably actually be there when this is uploaded, so basically I booked this trip back in, I think, I started planning it late 2018 and I booked it in April 2019, whenever it was that the dining plan offers were released in the UK for 2020. It was booked for May 2020, and then obviously the stuff in the world happened and it got moved to October 2020. Nothing was fixed, so we got moved again to September 2021. But whilst things were easing up here, at least in the UK, America still wasn't letting us in. For very good reason, obviously. So we couldn't go then. So then it got moved once again to September 2022. And here we are, a week away. Finally. just gonna drink from my butterbeer mug. So yeah, I've never done a trip announcement video before because I've never vlogged a trip before. No wait, yes I have. I did Disneyland Paris in a day once with my friend Brandon. Vlogged the entire thing, edited it, uploaded it, kept it up for about a year, and then privatised it. But yeah, I have done that, but I just filmed it because I wanted to remember it, and it was the first time I'd been to Disneyland Paris in 11 years, I think, because the last time I went I was 9, and I was at age at that point, I think I was like 20 or 21, so who knows. Good times. Anyway, I'm getting off the point. I'm going to Disney World. Yeah! I'm going with my wonderful partner Morgan and my mum. So, bit of background, I guess. When I was younger, my mum's living situation was strange. But we would go to Disney a lot together, and sometimes it would be me and her, or me, her and my dad. Once we went, it was me, her and my cousin, well, one of my cousins, and then another time we went, it was basically that entire, like, my mum's generation of our family and then my generation of our family. So going to Disney with my mum's just always been a really big part of my life, and it didn't feel right to go to Disney World Florida for the first time in my life without her. So the video kind of actually went a little bit viral on TikTok, but I surprised my mum for, it was Christmas 2019, with the trip to Florida. Everything had been paid for at that point. I think I had still a little bit left to pay off for the actual holiday. Yes, by the way, obviously I'm a social media nobody basically, so I am paying for this myself with my own money. It is not at all sponsored. The sudden appearance of the butterbeer mug might say otherwise, but it's not. I wish. Anyway, so yeah, it didn't feel right to go there for the first time without her, so I surprised her with the trip. Maybe I will include the clip from TikTok on here. Maybe I won't. Let's see how much editing I am willing to do. Because I am a Twitch streamer. No editing there. It's great. It's great. So I ended up surprising my mum with the holiday. And it was all hunky-dory. So yeah. Trip information. I guess I'm supposed to talk about that. So we're staying in Coronado Springs. We were actually staying in Caribbean Beach Resort the first 3 times that the trip was booked. However, when I had to change it last year to this year, the Caribbean Beach Resort was just not available at that time. It was booked or whatever. So we had to change to Coronado Springs, which isn't what I had intended, because I wanted to stay in a hotel that, you know, that had the Skyliner, the ability to get the Skyliner like to and from parks and stuff like that. But hey ho, it is what it is, and I'm sure that Coronado Springs is a wonderful hotel, and I'm probably going to enjoy myself regardless, so it really doesn't matter at the end of the day. We will also be spending a couple of days in Universal, so we do have Universal tickets. We're going to the outlets. We got a couple of cool experiences booked. So Morgan is going to be building a lightsaber at Sabby's workshop, because Morgan is a massive Star Wars fan. Very big Star Wars fan. So that's going to be a lot of fun for them. They're just off camera there, so that's why I keep looking. Because I need a camera person. And then I am going to be building a droid at the Droid Depot. I am a fan of Star Wars, yes. Not huge of a fan. I haven't seen like the last 2 films, and I've watched none of the TV shows.
You're not messing much with the films.
I'm keeping that in.
No.
So even though I'm not like the biggest Star Wars fan, I haven't seen all the films. I have watched Star Wars though since I was like really young. When I was 2 years old, my birthday cake was a Darth Maul cake. So I was a big Star Wars fan at some point. I just later on in life, not as much. And yeah, as I said, we're also going to be going to Universal for a couple of days, because I was raised on Harry Potter, so the Wizarding World's going to be a cool experience, but also just all of the Universal stuff is going to be amazing. I'm very excited. I don't necessarily sound excited, and I will explain that maybe in another video, maybe in this video. I'll probably talk about it in this video, to be fair. It will be my 25th birthday when we're out there. 25. I'm gonna be fine. It's fine. It's fine. Everything is fine. So we're gonna be flying with British Airways. It's an airline I've flown with like quite a bit, at least when I was younger. Not that I can really remember it, but I know I did. So, because when we did fly to Disneyland Paris, we would fly with BA. I don't necessarily know why. They were one of the biggest flyers from our local airport at the time. We're going to be flying from London, even though that's not our closest airport, and it's going to take us a few hours to get there. But it was cheaper for the travel down to London and the plane ticket from London than from any of our nearest 3 airports. So London it is. We're going to be going with Mia's Connect to get us from the airport to the hotel, mainly because in terms of research for this trip, when it came to connections for the longest time, I was like, oh, we're going to be fine, we can use the Magical Express, but obviously Magical Express is no more. I've noticed ever so slowly that Disney World Florida is starting to operate more and more like Disneyland Paris, because Disneyland Paris doesn't have a lot of the freebies that Disney World did pre-COVID. So what Disney World is now starting to do with like the paid fast passes, the paid shuttle bus service, all of that sort of stuff is stuff that Disneyland Paris has always done. Well, not paid fast passes is not something Disneyland Paris has always done, but it's something Disneyland Paris has done for a while in one format or another. They used to be free when I was a kid, but now they've got like they had like a super pass card thing that you could get, and now they've basically done the same thing that Disney World Florida has done. But I'm not here to talk about Disneyland Paris. Let's talk about reservations. So we do have a few dining reservations. Obviously the Disney dining plan isn't a thing anymore. I don't know if they'll ever bring it back. Hopefully they do, because that would be very good. But what we have now is dining credit. So because of where we're staying, we've got about $850 worth of dining credit for the three of us, which isn't bad at all. So we have a few dining reservations, table service. I've got Be Our Guest for my birthday dinner at like 3 p.m. because that's also a not so scary day. So the park closes to non-ticket holders at like 4, I think. So I got us in at like 3. It's not too bad. A Grand Floridian Cafe breakfast, Tepanido, Mama Melrose's, Sana's. I've literally just looked at them and I've already blanked on some of them. We've got a couple of others as well, which I'm really excited about. Again, I don't sound that excited, but I promise I am. So we do have a few dining reservations. I think we're gonna try and stick with like quick service for the most part anyway, purely just so we can, none of us have ever been to Disney World before. So none of us have ever been to America before. I think the closest we've gotten is Morgan's been to Canada and I've been to South America. But no, none of us have been to America before. So it's going to be really interesting, and we just kind of want to take everything at our own pace. And the best way to do that is not having that many table service reservations. And we are intending to go to the water parks. Obviously Blizzard Beach is closed still for refurb, and it's going to continue to be closed while we're there, so we're not going to be able to go there. But we are planning on Typhoon Lagoon and Volcano Bay because we do have our tickets encompass those. So the next thing I really want to talk about is the disability access service. So Disney's changed the way that people with disabilities can access the parks. Now, if you have a mobility issue, you can hire a wheelchair and go in the lines that way, because they've said that their lines are accessible. All their lines are pretty much accessible for wheelchairs. Whether that is true or not, I don't actually know, because I am not a wheelchair user and I've never been, so I don't actually know. But they've changed to something called the DAS Pass, so the Disability Access Service Pass, for people with cognitive disabilities, I think they called them on the website. Basically any mental health issues or disabilities that would hinder your experience. So I did say that I didn't know if I would talk about this in another video or if I would talk about it in this video, but I feel like it does pertain to, you know, my Disney plans, so I might as well just talk about it here. So I am diagnosed ADHD and autistic. Waiting in lines is something that I find very, very stressful, and I knew I would find very stressful, so I was concerned about going to theme parks. I'm always concerned about going to theme parks just because of how uncomfortable and overstimulating waiting in lines is, even though theme parks are something that I just love so much. So even though so you can register 30 days before your trip for the DAS Pass. I might make a whole separate video on the DAS Pass and how to access that from the UK, even though you're not technically supposed to be able to, but you can, and no one really seems to mind about it. So you go through the DAS process, they'll ask you why you need it, take a photo, and then you'll be passed off to the Disney planning team, who will ask you how many days in the Disney parks you're planning on, and then they'll ask you to send you through what park you've got what park you're going to each day that you're in the parks, and then your top 4 rides or experiences that you want to use the DAS pass for. Because with that you can have 2 rides or experiences pre-booked before you go there per day, and then when you are in Disney you can book another one on that day, and then once that one that you've booked on the day is done, you can book another one, and so on and so forth. Kind of like the old Fast Pass Plus system, from what I understand it to have been. But essentially the way it used to work with disabilities in Disney is, and the way it works in Disneyland Paris still, is you go to guest services and be like, hey, you know, I've got this issue that will affect my ability to wait in rides, so on and so forth, and they would give you a pass. In Disney you go through a disabled entrance and go basically straight onto the ride. In Disneyland Paris you take a pass to a disabled entrance and go essentially straight onto the ride. In Disney World I understand that it was kind of like a little booklet that you had, and you would go up to a cast member that was working on the ride. They would give you a return time and you would come back at that time. It essentially works the same way as that, except you book it on the My Disney Experience app, and you still wait the same amount of time that you would have been waiting in the traditional line. You just don't have to wait in it in that environment, which I think is really good, because a lot of people struggle. I am one of them, and it's something that I'm happy that, you know, Disney theme parks are doing and giving those access to people. So we do have some really cool rides and stuff pre-booked on that. Not all rides are able to be pre-booked, but all rides are able to use the DAS pass on. It's just, so for example, I can't use the DAS pass on the Guardians of the Galaxy ride or any ride with a virtual queue, because it doesn't affect me. I just have to, when it's time for me to go board, I have to let a cast member know, and then I'll wait somewhere else until I can like board. I think that's what I was told. I'll need to double check when I actually get there. But part of my reason, I mean, other than vlogging the trip to keep the memories for myself and, you know, just show other people what Disney is like, even though there are like so many Disney vlogs out there, I've been watching them just to really try and get myself into the mood, because this trip has been coming for about 3-4 years now. So I've noticed that as it's gotten closer, I've not been as excited as I was the first time round, and when it got pushed back and pushed back and pushed back. So yeah, part of the reason I want to vlog this and share it with everyone is because I am an autistic adult who also has ADHD, and so I feel like I can give a perspective on how it is for people like that. If you are watching this and you have children who have autism or ADHD, or if you yourself are a late diagnosed autistic ADHD adult who likes to go to Disney, and hopefully I can show you guys what it's like, ease worries or anything really, or just show you that it's possible to enjoy yourself even when you have these issues or struggles with mental health and other things and non-neurotypical brains. So yeah, I think that's really all I have to say. I hope you had fun listening to my ramblings, and that you enjoy yourselves watching me in the future in Disney. I'll catch you later. Oh, by the way, all my socials are AltKitty_ on like everything. Subscribe!